Moving further, she looked at him compassionately, very concerned, very caring, with her heavy eyes, and then she noticed that the man was afraid. She just understood that either the man had stolen something or he had just escaped from the jail. That's why he was afraid, she thought, and added quickly, "You may be sure, Captain, that you will be allowed to leave us just as freely as you came. It's your free wish. Whenever you want to go, you will be allowed to go. Only please stay with us over Christmas Eve, just to spend the Christmas, celebrate Christmas with us." She said this in such a friendly manner. She said in such a convincing, friendly manner that the rat trap peddler must have felt confidence in her. He felt as if she was saying the truth. It would never have occurred to me that you would bother with me yourself, miss. I was not so sure anybody in the world will be ready to take so much pains for me. I'll come at once. He got ready. He accepted the fur coat which the valet, the servant, handed him over with a deep bow. With great respect, threw it over his rags. He wore the coat over it and followed the young lady out to the carriage where the car was outside without granting an astonished blacksmith, without giving a look at the man who was so surprised to so much as a glance. But while he was riding up to the manor house, when he was going in the car, he had evil foreboding. He was having evil commitments in his mind. Evil thoughts were coming to him. Why the devil did I take that fellow's money? That was the only fault. Why I fell so much for it? Why I was so much attracted for that? He thought, now I am sitting in the trap and will never get out of it. I am caught in this rat trap of the world and I won't get out of it any time. The next day was the Christmas Eve, and when the ironmaster came into the dining room for the breakfast, he probably thought with satisfaction of his old regimental comrade whom he had run across so unexpectedly. All of a sudden, he has met his old acquaintance. So he was just thinking of the man. First of all, we must see to it. Now he was talking to his daughter. First of all, we must see to it that he got a little flesh on his bones. That means he should be healthy. We have to take care of his health first. He said to his daughter, who was busy at the table. She was preparing the table for the breakfast, and then we must see that he gets something else to do than to run around the country selling rat trap. Then we are to arrange for some other job, some other work for the man instead of selling this rat trap. It is queer that things have gone downhill with him so badly as that, said the daughter. Last night I did not think there was anything about him to show that he had once been an educated man. It was not possible to think that he is an educated man. He is a captain or old regiment. You must have patience, my little daughter, said the father. As soon as he gets clean and dressed up, you will see something different. Underline. Obviously, you will see the change. A change will definitely come when he will change the clothes. Last night he was naturally embarrassed. He was so much ashamed of himself. The trap manners will fall away. Underline the line. It's very natural. All our behavior, our appearance, our that is directly related to the dressing sense, what we dress ourselves. The tramp manners will fall away from him with the tramp clothes. When he will change those clothes, he will come out with a new personality. Then you will see a change. Just as he said this, the door opened and the stranger entered. Yes, now he was truly clean and well dressed. Moreover, he was dressed in a good looking wallet had bathed him, cut his hair, shaved him. Moreover, he was dressed in the good looking suit of the clothes which belonged to the iron master. He wore a white shirt and a stretched collar, the whole shoes. He was so groomed. He was looking so well, smart. But although his guest was not so well groomed, the ironmaster did not seem pleased because the reality has come in front of him. He looked at him with pucked brow in anger, as it was easy to understand that when he had seen the stranger fellow in the uncertain reflection of the from the furnace, when he saw him in the low light yesterday, at that moment he was mistaken because he couldn't understand. He was having long beard, rough clothes, dirty clothes, He might have made a mistake, but that now he stood there in the broad daylight. How he can mistook him now? It was impossible to mistake him for an old acquaintance. Now he has come to know that he is not my old friend. What does this mean? He thundered. He shouted. The stranger made no attempt to dissimulate. Now he was seeing the reality. There is no use of giving any excuses. He saw that the ones at once and the splendor, the grandeur, the efforts, the wonderful treatment given to him had come to an end. It is not my fault, sir, said he said. I never pretended, I never showed off to be anything but a poor trader. I never said I am your old friend. I never said I am the captain, and I pleaded and begged to be allowed to stay in the forge. I was just requesting you to allow me to stay there in the forge only to spend the night again and go away. Well, said the ironmaster, hesitating a little, it was not quite honest either. If I was mistaken, you should have said the reality, you should have said the truth. You must admit that, and I should not be surprised if sheriff would like to have something to say in this matter. The sheriff is known as the police. Now I would like to call the police. Police will decide what should be done with you. The tramp took a step forward and struck the table with a fist. In anger, you can say, he just put his fist on it and said, now I am going to tell you, Mr. Headmaster, how things are. He said, this whole world is nothing. Again the theme, this whole world is nothing but a big rat trap, and the good things that are offered to you are nothing but cheese winds, bit of pork. See, set out to drag a poor fellow into the trouble, and if the sheriff comes now and locks me up for this, then you, Mr. Ironmaster, must remember that a day may come when you yourself must want to get a big piece of pork. That means you will be attracted towards a greed, towards attraction sometime, and then you will get caught in the trap. A day will definitely come. The ironmaster began to laugh. Oh, that was not so badly said, my good fellow. Perhaps we should let the sheriff alone on Christmas. Why to disturb the police on the festival season? But now get out of my house as fast as you can. But just as the man was opening the door, he was just ready to leave the house, the daughter said, I think he ought to stay with us today. Now he was speaking on his part. I don't want him to go. And with this, she went and closed the door. What in the world are you doing? Said the father. The daughter stood there quite embarrassed and hardly knew what to do. She herself don't know what to say, but still, that morning she had felt so happy. She was so feeling happy when she thought how homelike and Christmassy she was going to make things for the poor hungry wretch. For this poor man, how she was going to make this day a very special one. But now she would not get away from the idea all at once, and that was why she had interceded. She has come in between that intruder and the ironmaster for the beggar wand. I am thinking of this stranger here, said the young girl. He walks and walks the whole year long, and there is probably not a single place in the whole country where he is welcome and can feel at home. He is just wandering here and there. Whenever he turns, wherever he is turned, he is chased away. People just chased him away from there. Always he is afraid of being arrested. Every time he is in a fear. He may be arrested at any time, anywhere, and cross-examined, and he will be questioned for that. I should like to have him enjoy a day of peace with us. I just want him to stay here for one day, to enjoy only one peaceful day, just one in the whole year. The ironmaster mumbled something in the beard, as if thinking something. He could not bring himself to oppose her, because I told you the daughter has a well convincing power, persuasion power, so the father was not able to refuse this proposal. It was all a mistake, of course. I know, she continued, but anyway, I don't think we ought to chase a human being whom we have asked to come here. We have invited this man ourselves, and now we are just asking him to leave the house. and to whom we have promised Christmas cheer. We have promised him to enjoy the Christmas, so it's not good to call a person as a guest on the festival season and just ask him to go away. That's not fair at all.